Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. It's okay. It is a Monday. It's Manga Monday. So in the second hour, we'll chat about a manga. We'll also talk about some anime. One that I've, I already watched the first episode. This is the second episode. And then another one that I just started. And we'll be hanging out here. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Hope you're doing well. I do want to say we're currently over the threshold of when I start talking about needing subscribers because we're over 50 subscribers. But I did want to let you know that we're currently at 69 subscribers. So we're at the nice number. Pretty psyched about that. We're at 69 to 50. We always, we're always aiming for 50, but we're at 69. So that's as the kids say, nice. Lord Crashton did subscribe to Tier 1 for 51 months saying, hey, Pat, hope things are going well. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Lord Crashton. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site and Tier 2 Blue in the chat. Tier 2 blue emote, I should say, in chat. And thank Lord Crashington for the 51 months. That's a whole fuckload of months. And then Lord Crashington wants me to hit the dance button, and I will hit the dance button, so we'll dance a little bit at the top of the stream. Oh yeah. None of these are real instruments. This was all done in a computer. And then it keeps going. It's got a loop to it. It feels like that would be the end of it, but there's another minute of the song. Hi, everybody. It's the Build With Baer Workshop. It's a Monday. It's a holiday. Happy fuck Christopher Columbus Day. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Happy Bruno San Martino Day. Patent pending. We do hope that someday we can honor an Italian American who fled with his family from occupation, became an incredibly long world champion, a role model for his community, who did not slaughter indigenous people. So if you are celebrating an Italian American today, I hope it's Bruno San Martino. Lord Carson says, I forgot that it was even a holiday. Yep. Yeah. It's just, to some people, it's just a Monday where you don't get the mail. And for others, it is a time to reflect and to understand where we're coming from with that. I hope you're all doing well. We're not going to get too political tonight, but we'll probably get a little political. The agenda for this evening. We've got the Gundam Schwarzette high grade. We have completed the head, the chest, and one whole arm. Tonight, we will work on the other arm. Then we'll move on to the feet. And then we will move on to the legs. Because we can do almost all of the legs at the same time because they are asymmetrical. At the very least, we can work on the feet and the legs, put those together, move on. We will most likely wrap this kit up on Thursday stream. So someday before then, I'll do a poll to see what we should build next. Because I don't have anything for my wish list in my backlog. I just have my backlog. And we're going to talk about some anime and some manga because it's, of course, Manga Monday. It seems like we're in for a little bit of a light evening, which is okay. I hope a few more folks decide to join us tonight. If not, that's all right. I should just say also at the top that tomorrow is my usual Tuesday night model kit building stream break. Tuesday nights we don't model kit build. That is when I do anything else. And we'll be checking out Model Builder. That's right. We're not going to be making model kits by hand as we go to the overhead. We're going to be... Oh, I got to zoom in. Sorry. I thought I was properly zoomed. Apparently I wasn't. That's right. I did reset the camera. I reset the camera and forgot to change things around. So that's why that didn't work. Yeah, we're going to check out Model Builder. That should be a good time. That was available for free on Epic Game Store, so I did download that game. And we'll be going in cold. This will be our second time doing a model kit building stream in a video game, because we did the building in Last Call BBS. We looked at that twice, but we did Last Call BBS, and now we're going to be jumping over to check out something a little different with Model Builder. We'll see how Model Builder goes. That's a game that I requested a code for, did not receive one back at when that game came out, and now I'm playing it for free. I am not bitter. I'm just letting you know, because I know some people had asked me about that game when it was released, and I had not received a code for it, so I could not check it out at that time. Did not have the funds available. I said available for a second there. Shows how good my tongue is today. Good news, everybody. We're going to start with good news. It is so nice to start with some good-ass news. But we're going to start things off with today. It was announced that the Writers Guild of America members, 99% of them, voted in favor of ratifying the 2023 contracts. Of the 8,525 valid votes cast, so not everyone in the guild voted, but also the Writers Guild of America is comparatively a smallish guild. But of the 8,525 valid votes, there were 8,435 yes votes and 90 no votes, which is about 1%. Term of the agreement is from September 25th, 2023, so retroactive in its beginnings, which is great for tax purposes, for healthcare purposes, for a variety of things. Having the contract retroactively starting on the 25th is great. Through May 1st, 2026. So it is not not even 3 full years, but that is still enough. And most likely, with the amount of gains, the theory is that the Writers Guild won't ask for much more, and it won't lead to a further strike because they gained so much that they will most likely be a little complacent here and there, unless the studios fuck around trying to find out, which, you can't put past them, that they might indeed try to fuck around in order to find out, as they did, because not everyone has good memory. Studios love to fuck around, you're right. So yeah, that's pretty much settled. Did I have a fun quote for that? Yes. The fun quote was, "Congratulations to the studios for wasting all of that money to get 90 people to not hate you." And I'm sure I'm sure that some of those people had valid reasons for being like, I wasn't in favor of the strike at any point, and this deal, there might be some people like, this deal isn't good enough, I'm voting no. Or there'll be some people who, thought that like it was in general, they are just pissy about the whole thing and it having to happen, so they're voting no. And you also have to account a little bit for user error, because there's out of that 90, there's at least one person who voted wrong and was like, oh shit, oh fuck, oh no. Like, you have to account for that. So at least take that into account if you're not accounting for it. But either way, a deal has been reached and ratified. Again, it is retroactive, which is fantastic. Like, whichever studio put up Mean Girls in chunks on TikTok to promote the day for it and not have to pay the actors' residuals because of the clause for talk show clips. Yes. Yes, studios do indeed love to fuck around. They're very good at it. There will be stuff in this deal that on paper seemed fine, but in retrospect, they figured out how to fuck around. And that's the next 3 years, right? That's as soon as the deal was made, then it becomes, okay, well, how can we twist this wording to benefit us? How can we change this to benefit us? How can we make this thing seem worse and have them agree to this? And all those things, will come through. Okay, well, if we say it's research purposes, then we can use AI in this way and this way, or, well, we can change the terms of what this means to mean that, and it's an ongoing process. It ain't over. We also, speaking of it ain't over, we hope for a quick contract to develop for the Screen Actors Guild, so these writers have something to write for, and we hope that the SAG-AFTRA get a fair deal as well. If you have been donating to the various strike funds, please continue to do so if you can, if you are able, because the actors also need that support. So yeah, cool as hell. Now, we here at the Build With Baer Workshop, we don't like hearing about layoffs. We don't like hearing about firings. We don't like that, right? We like it when people leave work for their own reasons. We like it when people move on to other things because they feel it's time for them to go. So in the spirit of that, congratulations to John Riccitiello in your future endeavors, whatever they may be, as you have now stepped down as CEO and President of Unity. Congratulations to you. I hope the next step is great on your journey. You motherfucker. Yeah, Riccitiello's stepped down. He's done. Jason Schreier put out the news, because this is per the company, put out a tweet saying news. John Riccitiello is stepping down as CEO and President of Unity per company. And it wasn't the first result, but one of the top results to it, because, if you're verified or, you pay or whatever, they get moved to the top. Mary Kish had the top reply I could see, which was just, bye. We love Mary Kish around here, don't we, folks? Mary just fucking going for it. But indeed, I doubt much is going to change. Sounds like the board and the debt they bought are the real problem. Yes, I mean, look. Does a fundamental change of the board, is that required to turn around that company? Of course. Yes, they have to be honest about the debt that they have incurred. They have to be honest about the directions they're going with the company. They have to spend years and years and years rebuilding trust with game developers that they're not going to pull another Unity on them because their name became a verb. And that's bad in this case. It's very bad. Like, nobody wants to pull a Unity. You don't want to hear about the business you associate with pulling a Unity. All those things need to happen. But they won't happen with John. And that's great for everybody. That's great for Unity. At the very least, very least, it's very good for people who work at Unity, who are not in the executive suite, who are not on the board, because I'm sure that there are people working there that in the top that are very unhappy because they are some of John's boys, and John is gone. And I would not be surprised if some of the members of the board will look to go wherever John is going, because they, despite all evidence to the contrary, still think their boy is the way to go. So let's see, there's a bend here. Is this symmetrical bend? Yeah, okay, so it does not matter which way this goes. That looks to be the case. All right, working on the feet here. But yeah, I'm sure there's some people that, despite, all evidence, despite the track records, are like, this is clearly a mistake. John shouldn't be the fall guy. We're going to go see what we're going to go check out what John does next. That kind of bullshit. Like, I'm sure there are people who are thinking that. Larger things as reported. He's retiring as president. I should give all his things, right? He is retiring from numerous jobs within Unity that were all one job, but let's say. president, CEO, chairman, and member of the board of directors effective immediately. This is a Monday holiday announcement. That means that they have been going back and forth about this for a while, and they didn't want to wait until the weekend, and they also didn't announce it on Friday, which is interesting. But they are, it's most likely there was lawyer talk that had to happen, and eventually they were like, all right, well, we'll just do it today. We'll just say what it is today. Whitehurst, James M. Whitehurst, is appointed interim CEO, president, and member of the board. And the lead independent director of Unity Board, Roloff Botha, will be appointed chairman. So they have not just given the job to one person. They're splitting it among two people. And then they're going to look for a new permanent CEO. This is the interim CEO and president. So they're looking for new people. And I hope they pick somebody that can fucking handle this shit. And of course, John is going to continue to advise Unity to make it a smooth transition. And of course, they didn't say anything. And he's like, hey, it's been a privilege to lead Unity for nearly a decade. Yada, yada, yada. Serve our employees, customers, developers, and partners. All have been instrumental in the company's growth. And it's like, yeah. Sure. Cool. Get the fuck out of here. So one would hope that this is, at the very least, this is an attempt to make criticism go away, right? And I'm happy that it happened to him. I'm not happy that we're in this position, that we're in this situation, because there are real life consequences to this fucking around and finding out that go way beyond the golden parachute man, who is going to be doing just fine and will end up on the board somewhere else of some other company. And then people will be like, ooh, now people will be like, oh, well, this is going to change things. This is going to mix things up. Now we got John on board. Oh, we got John in here. These things are shaping up. Ooh, stock price is going up. Oh, we're going, yeah. So glad we went public because now we got John in the mix. John's been nothing but winners, nothing but bangers, and I won't think of any reason why to suggest that there might be any reason this shouldn't be exciting and cool. Shit like that. I'm going to panel line this in a second here. Let me just get this ready. I want to panel line this before I start putting the pieces on top of it because it's just easier. It's just easier to do right down the middle here. A nice little line right down the center. Let's do that. But yeah, obviously there was like a bunch of bullshit. You know the whole story with runtime fee and all that other stuff. So this is good. This is just some good stuff. And they walked back some of it, but then walked back all of it. And yeah. And a reminder that one time John Rictello, I'm glad IGN mentioned this. I'm reading their article. At one time, he did have to apologize to developers for describing anyone who doesn't embrace microtransactions as the biggest fucking idiots. And then he had to walk that shit back. Oh, couldn't even stand by that, John. We had to be like, sorry. So yeah. And the top comment is, of course, and off he goes to ruin the reputation of another company. Yep. That's the plan. That's the agenda. All right, so we finished the first part of these feet, and now we got to finish the other part of the feet, which is the back parts here, which is just A5 and A2, A3 and A4. We'll do all together. We'll get these legs. The cowburn, while a lot of Witch from Mercury kits clearly take inspiration from Gundam 00, that style of Gundam, in a bit. There are some kits here in this line that do seem to take at least some inspiration from Iron-Blooded Orphans. And these legs and feet feel Iron-Blooded Orphan inspired, which is great for your friend Pat, who, of course, loves Iron-Blooded Orphans, the anime. I don't love the concept of Iron-Blooded Orphans. I like the show. You knew that. I didn't have to tell you that. That's what I meant. You knew what I meant there. But yes, I love that is an inspiration for it. Other things we can talk about tonight. In a little bit of a sadder game news, we can chat about this. X-Defiant is delaying, is having a bit of a delay, which apparently did pretty well in its test, public test sessions. Like popularity wise, it seemed to be people were seeming to be into it. But yeah, there is a delay with X-Defiant. Delaying the launch of its preseason. They had different mech designers from other shows do the different companies' mechs. Yes, Lashbrook. Yes, that is true. They had different designers do, like, because they didn't want it to feel very uniform. They wanted to feel somewhat competitive, like they were approaching it from different angles. So you did have different inspirations among the different kits. That is true and fair to say. All right. One foot done. Well, now do the other foot. But yeah, they said testing highlighted inconsistencies in the gameplay experience, and they have not confirmed when they will resume. Only that there is a delay in the process. Which, yeah, it's interesting. Of course, live service games have been kind of dropping like flies as people maybe get cold feet about it after years of development of said things, chasing a trend that may have not been a trend. It may have just been a couple very good games, or they may have been late to the party and now an increasingly small space as people move on to other genres, or they just get in the trenches of their own, the games they chose in that genre. It's not to say you can't do a successful one, but maybe you have to work harder than, and get lucky, and maybe that's just not happening. Again, I can't say for sure, but it is a little surprising because also, at some point you got to put out some kind of video game. Let's see. Yeah. Of course, Ubisoft canceled Hyenas just recently, and apparently the multiplayer mode for Last of Us Part 2, there have been layoffs at Naughty Dog as they are scaling that project back and laying folks off in that department as well. All right, we are done with the feet here of our kit. Now we can move on. I can panel line this a little bit. I guess I should do that before we move on. Panel line just a little bit here of the feet, and then we'll move on to the legs, which we can do mostly at the same time because they are pretty much all symmetrical until the very end. So that's fun. And we can get a little bit done there. But yeah, let's see. Is there anything else from this article? There are a few other games of this type still in development, like Marathon. A game called Concord, which I had forgotten about, which is coming to PlayStation 5 and PC. They got announced earlier this year. It's a PvP multiplayer first-person shooter from Firewalk Studios. And then I went and looked at it and went, oh yeah, this just looks generic as shit. That's why I couldn't remember it. It's got some cool visuals of like a lot of old dusty stuff. Like it feels very like Alien or Aliens. But we haven't really seen much about what that game is going to be. Concord is at least a good name. I just couldn't remember it. So maybe it's not that great of a name. Let's see. Okay. if you were thinking that all of Blizzard's games were going to appear on Game Pass, well, eventually, but not a lot. And looks like not this year because, you can't just flip the switch on those things. You got to make deals and make decisions and all that other stuff. But let's see. Let's see here. Microsoft's getting ready to close on the deal, looks like. Let's see here. I want to read this tweet from Activision Blizzard. While we do not have plans to put Modern Warfare 3 or Diablo 4 into Game Pass this year, once the deal closes, we expect to start working with Xbox to bring our titles to more players around the world, and we anticipate that we will begin adding games to Game Pass sometimes over the course of the next year. So coming in next year. So don't expect it for any 2023 games like this year for that to happen. Things could theoretically change, but most likely right now, it looks like the answer is no, not yet. Maybe soon, but not now. Which I think is reasonable. Got to figure that shit out. But I guess a lot of people are just like, wow, that's really slow that that's happening. And I'm like, the thing is, like, there are projections and stuff like that. And, like, Microsoft can say, like, well, these sales you thought you were going to get at the holiday 2023, you don't get those. You know what I mean? Like, I understand why there might be like, oh, yeah, we're not going to do it right away because, like, this company made certain, like, agreements and understandings of certain things, and we kind of need to at least try to honor those even though we got bought. And, yeah, I don't think that's unreasonable to be like, not yet. We can't do it yet. I don't know. That's just me, though. That's just me being a practical person thinking about it that way, I'm sure. Sure, a lot of people were just like, no, put it out. Put it out. Flip the switch. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about wrestling with y'all. Because the Tuesday Night Wars are happening, y'all. If you are unfamiliar with your modern wrestling history, you may not know about the Monday Night Wars. So for many years, WWF at the time had Monday nights on lock for wrestling. And then WCW was making a concerted effort to become the new number one company in wrestling. And Monday Nitro happened. They started a Monday show. And then there was a period where they were going head to head, these two companies. And there was a period where, like, ratings were jumping back and forth. And it was a hot time for wrestling. It was, some might argue, the hottest time for wrestling among those two companies. And then WWE was the only game in town for many, many years. They won the Monday Night Wars. Could you argue that they didn't win the Monday Night Wars so much as they survived the Monday Night Wars because Time Warner buying Turner Broadcasting is what actually, like Time Warner AOL buying Turner Broadcasting is actually what destroyed the Monday Night Wars? Yes, it's probably actually more accurate. But anyway, that happened. We ended up with one major wrestling promotion and some minor wrestling promotions. AEW comes along. All Elite Wrestling comes along. They put out a product. Their flagship show is a Wednesday Night Dynamite. Here's the thing. There was a show, NXT. It aired on Wednesday. That's a WWE developmental. So for a while there, the developmental brand for WWE, the quote-unquote third brand, was competing with the flagship show, and for a little while, the only show from AEW. And more people tuned in for AEW. Because of course they did. And there were various stunts to make that work and all kinds of stuff. And then eventually, WWE, mostly with their tails between their legs, a little bit, just saying that, whatever, we're trying out something else, moved it to Tuesdays. And there was very little competition among the shows. Nowadays, we find competition because AEW has a show called Collision on Saturdays, And WWE likes to run premium live events, which is their name for pay-per-views, because it's not only on pay-per-view, and a lot of people don't have to pay outside of their subscription to Peacock or the WWE Network. There's a whole thing where people were like, oh, yeah, this is the Wars again. Now it's the Saturday Night Wars. You're putting a premium live event up against, a TV hours on Saturday night. Oh, no. Well, it's happening. It is. It's going to happen. It's going to keep happening. Not a big deal. And everything was fine. Except here's the thing. Ratings are... Collision ratings have been down. Ratings are generally okay for AEW. On a Wednesday night, they got a Friday at 10 p.m. show. They got a Saturday at 8 p.m. show. They got, they got some good time slots for the most part. They're getting some good stuff. And, the replays work good. The DVR numbers are strong. People are genuinely pretty happy with how things are going for the company. It's okay. But the thing with wrestling, we talked about this before, is even if the numbers are good, the ad buys aren't. The big companies don't really want to advertise. Now, they might want to advertise for a pay-per-view. They might want to be like Pizza Hut, who had just like a ridiculously large buy where there were fucking ads for Pizza Hut all night, and Xavier Woods wouldn't shut the fuck up about Pizza Hut. Jesus Christ. I know it's a job, but what the fuck? I know you're not getting any extra for being the fucking Pizza Hut spokesman tonight, Xavier. That fucking sucks. You're getting taken advantage of. Blows. Anyway, but regular advertising just doesn't work. So that's why you had, in the past, that's why you had things like the Westminster Dog Show. Why the fuck was the Westminster Dog Show preempting WWE or WWF programming? Well, because even if way less people watched, the kinds of ads that they got far exceeded it and made up for it. It was fucking huge. Like, the people were, throwing money at USA Network to be able to advertise during the Westminster Dog Show or the US Open, which is kind of the only times they ever got preempted on USA. So, it goes back and forth to change, things are in flux. It's weird. But generally, things are same and fine. Over for AEW, a thing you got to recognize is, because people were like, hey, how come sometimes the shows just end up at different times or different days, and it's weird, and why are they, not so excited about this wrestling that does pretty good numbers? It's because Time Warner, or Warner, I should say, Warner Brothers, doesn't really care about wrestling because they have some sports. TBS and TNT have some amount of sports. So this coming Wednesday, 2 nights from tonight, is baseball. TBS is going to show baseball. So wrestling got bumped to Tuesday. So the Tuesday Night Wars have returned. WWE has their NXT. Normally on Tuesday, it is their home turf, and AEW has their show. And the reason why I'm bringing all this up is, one, not going to be watching AEW tomorrow because I'm going to be streaming, so I won't see it. I might watch some of the first hour or whatever, but I won't be able to see all of it. And then I will have to in the future, watch the rest of the episode. But the more important thing is to recognize is both companies, both WWE and AEW, are freaking out about this ratings war that's happening. It's usually just annoying people on the internet who worry about this stuff, but the companies are. So what's AEW doing? AEW is calling it Title Tuesday. They have 2 titles on the line, and one match is a number 1 contender for another title. On Saturday, they had 2 title defenses as well. It's not actually that many titles. Yes, Dynamite is tomorrow. That's when you're finally planning to catch up on Rampage and Collision. Watch the first match of Collision. Rampage was good. And then in the second hour of Collision, you get Eddie Kingston. A fantastic match. First match of Collision, you get oh man, you get FTR defending their titles in a weird match. So you might want to watch Collision. So they do care about ratings, Lord Crashington. No, so WWE is like, well, they're coming on our night, so we're stacking the deck. Now, AEW, Title Tuesday, trying to make it special. You could argue that AEW doesn't care about WWE. AEW cares about making sure that people know that they're on a different night. They want to make sure that people know, oh, we're on an earlier night. We're on Tuesday. So we're going to call it Title Tuesday. We'll make it a big deal. Edge is wrestling. Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge, is wrestling his first match for AEW after a couple shows of talking. It's his first match. That's their big thing. What's NXT doing? Well, Carmelo Hayes is taking on Braun Breaker. Carmelo Hayes has John Cena in his corner, and Braun Breaker has Paul Heyman in his corner advising him. So John Cena is coming to fucking NXT to hang out. Also, Asuka is wrestling Roxana Perez. So Roxana and Asuka are fucking wrestling, and that rules. There's some people that kind of show up now and again that are going to be there. The other big thing that NXT is doing is Cody Rhodes is coming, and he's going to make a major announcement. Now, I believe that Cody Rhodes is most likely going to announce another Dusty Cup. Dusty Rhodes, in charge of NXT for many years, passed away. One of the things he did in NXT was he had the Dusty Classic, which was a tag team tournament. And the winners get a title shot for the tag team belts. They're thinking that Cody may announce that coming back, because that would make sense. It'd be thematically make sense. What else would Cody be announcing big? Lord Crash says, I saw some greatest of all time moniker for John Cena and didn't know if that was a thing for him or not. So when he came back, John Cena has been wrestling on SmackDown. He was just on the premium live event, which we'll talk about in a bit. John Cena has been hanging out on SmackDown due to the Screen Actors Guild and the SAG-AFTRA strike. Due to the strike, John Cena has had some free time. He booked himself some months in the WWE. He went to India for the WWE. He's been hanging out. When he showed up, they started referring to him as one of the greatest of all time. So his moniker is now John Cena, one of the greatest of all time. That is what they're saying. I don't think that's inaccurate to say. I think that is totally reasonable to refer to John Cena as one of the greatest of all time. I don't know if you would say he's the greatest of all time, but I think you could totally say that he's one of the greatest of all time. Oh, we're doing one leg at a time. I put this piece out without needing to take that piece out. I got so used to doing stuff double time that I did not notice. Work on the legs, which are going to be the last of our body stickers, I believe. And of course, we are going to do the stickers with the cool neon parts to it. As you can see in our photo, our render of this kit has the bland stickers chosen. And I don't know why you would do that, but whatever. That was the best quality photo I could find of this kit. So I went with the bland sticker choice on there. But obviously, we ain't doing that when it's time to build the kit. You know, when it became my time to shine. WWE promoted him as the greatest of all time, John Cena. Okay, I did not realize they were not adding the one of. They had been saying one of on Twitter, yeah. So yeah. Oh, also, one last thing about NXT tomorrow. If you're like, Pat, well, what else could they possibly do? Wait, why is this? Okay. What else could they possibly do? The first half an hour of WWE NXT tomorrow is commercial free. So they are trying to crush AEW on an off night. They're fucking going for it. And I know some people are mad about this. They find this distasteful. They don't like what's going on here. Your friend Pat, me, I think it fucking rules. Thank you, Lord Christian. I'll check that out later. I don't look at Discord while I'm streaming. Um, uh, some folks don't like this. They think that it's like, oh, whatever. Why can't they just do shows? Why are they trying to compete? They say that, let's say AEW. It's like, WWE says they don't consider AEW to be competition. So why are they freaking out about it? And I'm like, well, AEW booked Edge, and they're like, well, they have Adam Copeland. Like, yeah, they specifically booked Adam Copeland's first match back or first match with the company to be this day. Like, it's intentional. You know, it's like they're trying to get you to watch it. The last time that Sheeta wrestled for the women's world title on TV, she won the belt. They are making you think she might do it again. They are trying whatever they can to get you to watch the show. Both companies are doing this. Oh yeah, it's console wars shit, right? It is. So I will say this. When it comes to wrestling, my opinion is like what you like. Don't worry about what other people like. You can be disappointed. You can be bummed out if people don't give the thing you like a fair shake. Like, I know some people that watch Japanese pro wrestling but don't check out Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, which is one of my favorite wrestling promotions. It bums me out that people don't want to check out that promotion, which I love very dearly. But I watch SmackDown and Rampage on Fridays. I watch highlights of Raw because I'm doing this so I watch usually a little bit of the beginning of it and then highlights after. And then I watch a lot of AEW programming because there's stuff to like about both. I also used to watch the first hour of Nitro, and I would tape the second and third hours of Nitro and watch the 2 hours of Raw because I liked WWF better than because the NWO became annoying for me very fast. And the first hour usually had cool lucha shit. So I would watch that, and then I would change the channel. I wouldn't flap back and forth, but I would record on a VHS tape the wrestling I wasn't seeing. And then I would watch Heat most of the times. I would watch Thunder sometimes because Thunder kind of sucked. So I wouldn't watch it all the time. But I would watch the programs that I wanted to watch and liked what I liked and, skipped what I didn't like. And that was how I got into wrestling at the time. I'm also the guy that I bought an NES and then I bought a Genesis after that. I skipped the Super Nintendo in the beginning because my cousins had a Genesis and I thought that stuff looked neat and I wanted to play Sonic games. I wanted to check out Sonic the Hedgehog. So I did that. Now, I don't know why I can't get this part to work right here. This has got to go like this. And then this has got to hook in. I may have done something wrong here because this doesn't clip in like it should. This just is separating. So I have done something incorrect in assembling this part of the leg on both sides. So I now have to figure out what it was. I liked tape wrestling. Taping wrestling so I could fast forward through the commercials and boring shit when I'd watch with a friend. Yeah, that is nice. That is a nice thing. Okay, so I attached this part wrong. I got to go back because I did this wrong. One of these has to clip in, and I did the wrong side. I clipped in the wrong side. This goes like this. This is going to go like this. Okay. I think this is the right side. And then these go in here. Okay. And then this will go. Now I can see if I did this right, which is that this clips in this. That does clip in. Okay, I am now doing this correctly. So yeah, I just have to take this off. I have to flip this over. I just did this wrong. Luckily, not that difficult to fix my mistake. Always nice when you can fix your mistake. Always great when you did not fundamentally fuck something up. And then I can put the leg in like that. And then I just have to panel line a little bit. And then I have to build the ankle part here, or the leg connector. Oh, and there's a part that goes in the back here that kind of locks things in place that I got to put on there. Actually, there's nothing really that needs... Yeah, this little spot here can be panel lines. There's not much panel line on the thigh here. All right, then I just have to put... Oh, I got a few more pieces I got to put on here, I guess. C23. Let me just do B10 here. And then we'll move on to the left leg, which is the same thing. But, you know, we got to do it again. Easy enough. But yeah, so I don't care about the wars. I think it's very funny. I know some people think it's childish. I just think it's like, it's what the companies are trying to do something here. You know, like one company feels like they've got to prove something. The other companies feels like they got to like stack the deck. NXT has been stacking the deck before. This is obviously an egregious one of like John Cena and Asuka, but also the NXT Women's Champion is Becky Lynch. Like they've been doing this. This is not new for them. Just be like, yeah, what's up? Got more people here to see what's going on. They've been trying to bolster NXT. So it's not fully new, this whole thing. All right, let's finish this leg. Let's get this leg done here. Got to get C20, C18, and C23. And then we'll have a whole leg done. We're definitely going to finish this kit during Thursday's stream. Like, there's just no way we won't, which is fine. So we'll have to get a poll together about what I'm going to work on next, because I will need to do something else soon. Let's see. Real briefly, some titles changed hands on Fastlane. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso are your new undisputed tag team champions. I definitely don't think I saw that one coming. My thought was, well, they'll lose them, and then Damian Priest will cash in, so he's not a tag champion and a sole champion because he's the Money in the Bank winner. He did not. Rhea Ripley was like, your knee's bad, don't do it, and so he didn't do it, which, you know, some people thought was a fake out. It wasn't a fake out. It was what was happening. He didn't do it. All right, that leg is done. This leg is all set. If there was a waist, if we had built a waist, I could put that leg on that waist. I can't. So now I got to do the left leg. Left leg needs me to do it. So we can move on to that. Put that there for now. But yeah, Cody Rhodes with the belt. I know some people were joking like, oh, he finished the story. This was the story all along. Yeah. No, I still think Cody's going to have big-time singles success in WWE. He's still going to have a major title in the future. He just doesn't have it now. And I think that is... I don't think that's like a terrible set of circumstances. I know some people are unhappy with that. I think the idea that he, with a member of... a former member of the Bloodline, has the belts the Bloodline used to hold is kind of cool. I think that is kind of a neat thing to be like, oh, well, you know, I got this belt. I got these belts. Remember when you liked these belts? You like these belts a lot. I got them now. I think that's fun, and that could be some good shit in the future. Let's see. What else we got here? Also, during the kickoff, Jade showed up. Jade Cargill walked into the building. They're making her a big deal because she is a fucking big deal. And I love that. I love that for her. I love that they're treating her like an incredible acquisition because she is. It's neat. It's just neat and cool. Cool and neat. Also, apparently, as a congratulation gift, Eddie Kingston sent her a giant box of Kit Kat, like giant size Kit Kat. So it's like a huge thing of Kit Kats, because that's Eddie Kingston's sense of humor. One time he saw her eating a Kit Kat, and he was like, how the fuck can you look like that eating that? And he was mad. He was humorously mad about it. And so occasionally he has apparently purchased Kit Kats for Jade and then sent her a big thing of Kit Kats, which is very fucking Eddie Kingston, and very good. We here as appreciators of Eddie fucking Kingston appreciate that. I think that's very good. But yeah, Jade showed up. It's nice. It's nice. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and a mystery partner, because the two men that could have done it got beat up on SmackDown. Oh no, who's going to show up? Is it going to be Dragon Lee, who just kind of joined the main roster and was just on SmackDown? That was my thought. Is it going to be Bad Bunny? Are they going to do an unadvertised appearance from Bad Bunny? No, it was Carlito. Carlito Colon, a legend in Puerto Rican wrestling. His brothers, a brother and cousin, all over AEW in the past, or no, WWE in the past, I should say. Carlito came back, and that's fun. That's a fun thing that I can say to you, is that, yeah, Carlito was there. That's neat. That's a neat little thing. And they won, which I was not expecting either. But I guess you don't bring in Carlito to have him lose. I guess you could have him lose. I am wondering if they're bringing Carlito in so that they can have Santos turn heel and like take him out or something. Because at some point they probably should have Santos Escobar turn heel, because he's a very good heel. He's a fun babyface. He's a very good heel. And they got Dragon Lee. Like, they're bringing in other people so they can turn him heel. I hope they do it soon, because he's a great heel. Crown Jewel. The next Crown Jewel is going to be Saturday, November 4th. So there is a time where I will not be talking about WWE nonsense, because I do not cover, or outside of what I'm saying right now, I do not cover, and I rarely, if ever, acknowledge Saudi Arabian shows. I hope the Saudi folks in attendance have a good time. I'm good. I don't need to talk about that stuff. EO won with some help. I'm always afraid that Charlotte's going to be the champion. It feels like they put Charlotte in the match because they want Charlotte to be a draw, that she is, and they want to take advantage of the fact that people like Charlotte. I am always afraid that every time Charlotte is in there in the mix, she is about to win the belt again. I do not need that. I am very happy that Io Sky won. It was just fun. Pat McAfee came out. It's fun. And then he was on commentary for John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline. In this case, that's Solo and Jimmy Uso. And John Cena and LA Knight won. And people are wondering if John Cena and LA Knight are going to have a little bit of a back and forth, like a friendly friend, nice guy situation. And I don't quite know. I don't know how they're going to play this. What they're going to do next. LA Knight involved with the Bloodline is very good for LA Knight. Could LA Knight be next in line to lose again to Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns, who will be back on SmackDown on Friday. That's possible. That's the next person for Roman. Like, I could see that. I could also see John Cena versus Roman. Friends match for the top friend. Indeed. Greatest friend of all time. But yeah, happy to see main event. LA Knight. Happy to see LA Knight getting some wins in there. Holding his own with everybody. Looking fucking dynamite. You kind of The trigger is hot to be pulled for LA Knight. He's not getting younger. So having his time to shine, I think fucking kicks ass. I'm psyched for him. It's a good spot to be in. And I guess also you could do AJ Styles versus the Bloodline, since AJ got beat the shit out of him so he could storyline, not be available for that tag match. So I guess you could do that. Oh, and the main event was Seth. That wasn't the main event. Sorry, my apologies. The main event was Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and Rollins won somehow. That match was fucking brutal. It was last man standing match, and it was goddamn brutal. And then I want to see if it was storyline. Did Seth drop the belt tonight? I have heard that he was planning on dropping the belt, or there was rumors that he was dropping the belt tonight. But I do not believe that is true. Let me see here. Let's see. Oh, okay. He was teasing the crowd. Great. He was just teasing the crowd, but he's like, I'm just getting started, which is fun. Okay. And apparently, Crown Jewel will be McIntyre. And then, but what's fun is, apparently tonight, because Seth's banged up and beat up, they tried to cash in on him, but Drew McIntyre prevented that from happening, which is fun. Yeah, that's pretty good. Anyway, folks, there's not a lot of you here tonight, which is okay. I am obviously not mad at y'all. I'm happy you all are here. But yeah, we're a little light on friends this evening, so I do want to take the opportunity while I can to chat with you a little bit. I'm not going to do the full spiel, but if you are a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, please throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in chat, because I would appreciate that. Subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here. So if you are a subscriber, let me know by throwing those lovely emotes in there, because I would appreciate that. If you're watching this later on either here on the VOD or on Twitch, or later on YouTube, you can find all these links in the show description or in the live chat. But yeah, I've got a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. What else? I've got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. If you become a member to my YouTube channel, Lashbrook, thank you for throwing those emotes in there. Appreciate that. If you become a member over on my YouTube, you get a cool thing. You get to see my Wednesday videos a day early. So tomorrow you're going to get a link to a video that I think turned out fucking great. It's one of my favorites. It's the 41st one I've done of this 52-week project, but it's pretty good. I think you'll like it. You should check it out. It's pretty all right. I think that one turned out great, and you'll get it a day early if you become a member over my YouTube. And of course, you can make donations, direct donations through various services. And every little bit of money goes into me buying model kits and equipment. I was able to pick up this kit because of your generosity, and I thank y'all very much for that. What else? I'm kind of flying through these a little bit because, we want to get back to building, because there's, again, not a ton of folks here this evening. I have an Amazon wish list. If you want to buy something from my wish list, you could do that. I'll quickly just say there's a bunch of stuff on this wish list that I will be happy to build on stream. You could get a Lego set for me to build at Christmas. There's some model kits. Some of them are priced very well. Some of them are priced, a little high. Legos, model kits, all kinds of different stuff. I'll be happy to build. I mean, I don't put stuff on my list that I don't want to build. I'd love to build all of this stuff. I'd love to build the Gundam Age Zadra, which is in the which is like the red and orange colors that you would see in an Evangelion kit, That is just like, that would be a funny thing for me to build. But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff on here, and I would be happy to build anything from that list. So see if there's something there that you'd like to see me build. You could pick that up if you wanted to. Again, you don't have to. The same thing goes for my throne wish list, which is just an alternative to Amazon, because it's nice to have alternatives. And then, of course, you could get at me with the throne. What else should we do here? What else we got going here? Oh, yeah. Buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store. Send me a DM on Twitter or whisper here on Twitch with that gift card code that you get in your email. And I can buy something for USA Gundam Store. The most convoluted way to help me. I have a Discord. See if you'd like to join my Discord. It would be nice to have you there. Couple video links. Today I put up a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. Somebody left a comment during the stream. I'll have to read that comment later. I'm just going to quickly look. Yep. Just talking about... Yes, it's talking about the isekais they're watching. So yeah, I put up a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club today. It is about all 8 isekai. I have been told that there are possibly 9 isekai this season. That maybe that show 16-Bit Sensation, which is a time travel show, might also be an isekai, but I think it's just a time travel show. I am going to investigate. I will do my due diligence and let you know. But right now, if you want to hear about all of the 8 isekai that I believe, the only 8 from this season, new and returning, including one show that I did not know was an isekai up until doing my research for this video, that Dead Mount Death Play is an isekai, apparently. I had no idea. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every week I write a character piece, write and perform a character piece, and with some amount of preparation and rehearsal. It is not fully, it's not improv, it's not off the cuff. I know them. This one is a TikTok trend parody that I did. You should check that one out. It's pretty good. And like I said, the next one's also very good. I think you'll like it. All right, so I have 2 anime episodes to talk about here. 1 new show, 1 returning show, and then a manga to chat with you about. We're going to do the manga first, and then we'll do the anime. I do need to drink some water before we get into that. This was probably the fastest pause for the cause I've ever done. So you're welcome for the very fast pause for the cause. And then we'll do all this stuff. But first I'm going to drink some water and dramatically transition back to the overhead camera right now. So for this kit, we have the waist, we have the backpack, and we have the weapons. We got the sword, and then the other sword. So it is, yeah. We got a bunch of stuff to build here with this. So we will have to we'll have to dig in on this kit, and we might. I don't think we're gonna finish it tonight, but we're gonna get very close to finishing it, is what I'll say, because there is still some stuff to build. But maybe we won't. Maybe we won't finish it up. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Got a bunch of... The assembly here will be interesting, so I gotta have to see how this assembly works. Because we can use the big sword mode, or we could change the sword so it's a big cascade thing on the back. I don't know. We got options. We're not there yet, though. What am I even talking about? We gotta build the waist first, and then the weapon also has a ton of stickers, so that also might take a while. But while I'm doing that, I need to tell you about some manga that I've been reading. I recently read a whole mess of. I got a whole bunch of chapters of Level 0 Demon King becomes an adventurer in another world. This is a fairly generic premise, that it is an isekai. Somebody dies and is reborn. He's not. I should say this. He's not sure if he died, what happened, or if he was transported. You find out more about that later. But at first, he's like very confused about what happened. Anyway, our guy, Ishito, was the strongest demon king in this world. The fucking strongest. And he got defeated by heroes. And then all of a sudden, he's a young man. And he's got a lot of strength. And there is a top tier elite adventurer named Eris who's just like, I'm going to sponsor you. You should become an adventurer. And he's like, well, I don't really know a lot about this world. That'll be a good way to learn it. Yeah, all right. You know what? I'll be, I'm a human. I'm not a demon anymore. I'll be an adventurer. Sure, I'll go do that. And because he's so strong and he has all these incredible abilities and knowledge, he completes the he graduates from the adventurer training school in one day. So we don't have the training arc. We don't have the arc of him being the overpowered main character arc, the traditional version of that, where he's just there and either hiding his powers or there's misunderstandings or whatever. None of that. He comes in, he blows people out of the way, blows everybody out, wins, whatever, challenges, graduates. Nothing they can teach him there, which we knew. His powers are so off the chart that they wrap around, which is why he's the level 0 Demon King, because his power rating is level 0, because it's not. It's like level unregistered. So you would think, oh, okay, so that's where like he runs into discrimination and he runs into problems. No, not really. I mean, some people don't understand what's going on, but everyone that spends any time with our dude is just like, why are you ranked so low? What's fucking happening here? You seem to be incredibly strong. What the fuck? And you know what? Overall, it's pretty charming. Like, he understands places where he's wrong. It is a fun element where, remember, he was the Demon King. He was one of the Demon Kings. So he was, not only was he strong, he was used to a certain lifestyle. And he finds it to be very odd. He does not adjust well to being like a commoner adventurer. Because he lived a grandiose life. So he's like, I have to rebuild my army. So he's looking for party members. And instead of looking, like you'd imagine that he would treat them as companions, he treats them as subordinates, lovingly as subordinates. But he has an eye for people. My favorite character in the story is a girl whose gimmick is that she can't control her own strength. So people... she's the friendly fire mage, because people are scared to work with her because she accidentally hits them with magic, and they're all freaked out about that. So our dude, Ishito, is just like, yeah, that's fine. I'm way stronger than you. You can hit me with all the magic you want. It'll be fine. And then so she accidentally hits him with some magic. She's so worried about it. It's like, yeah, whatever. Like, there was one time where he's just like, that was a lot of magic. Okay. Like, it doesn't matter. He eventually also recruits a tool crafter to make items, who is a real coward, but they have a good rapport. She kind of gets over some of her fears in helping him. It's a fun story. Oh, there's also a party that sometimes work with his guarantor or his guardian, and other times like end up working with them. And they're just like fun ladies. There's just a crew of fun ladies that's in there. They also have a big dog that is a mythical beast who is actually the leader of their crew. Like, he just goes like, oh, who do you think is the boss? And he's like, I don't know, probably the magical beast right there. Seems way smarter than everybody else. And they're like, wow. And he has like a fun rapport with the magical beast, because the beast like completely and totally recognizes that our main character is incredibly strong, but seems to be benevolent. So it's got more humor than their typical isekai tale. It is an isekai because it's not like a time travel. He is in a different world than the world he came in to. It's just that both worlds had magic in them. I think level 0 Demon King becomes an adventurer in another world. totally fine. I could see that getting an anime adaptation at some point because I think it's pretty solid. Pardon me. Thought I was going to sneeze there, but instead just had an itch that I had to get scratch. But yeah, I think it is a solid adventure series. A good little isekai. Check it out. Now we're going to get into the anime discussion. I got 2 shows to talk about. We're going to talk about episode 2 of The Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch. And then we'll talk about Stardust Telepath. The only true girls doing things show, because I Shall Survive Making Potions, I don't actually know if it's the girls doing things. I think it's just a female-led isekai. But Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch is it's just a kooky adventure series. If you have not watched episode 1, if you didn't hear me talk about it, we've got Alyssa is a witch. She is a long-living witch out in the woods. Years and years ago, she ran into a human child who later would be named Viola. And the witch raised that child like her own. Viola is now 16 and a real knockout, and men are courting her. She doesn't like that. Well, actually, I'm sorry. She doesn't know that. She does know that suspicious men show up, and she's convinced that those men are after her mom, Alyssa. She doesn't like that. Alyssa is confident these men are here for Viola, and she doesn't like that. Most of them seem to be there for Viola. A couple of them are there for Alyssa, but maybe not for dating, maybe just because she's a powerful witch. Either way, they go about trying to keep each other like free from dudes. They're trying to scare off dudes. They're going to separate the two of them because they are a loving found family, and they don't want a dude to come between them. We are now body complete on this kit, except for the backpack. Holy shit. Look at... God damn it, this Caliburn fucking whips ass. Oh, it looks so good. I'm going to pull down the leg, the parts here that go later to the leg stabilizers, just to kind of lean this up like that. God damn, look at this kit. Oh, it just whips ass. It looks so good. Oh, unbelievable. It might join the display, everybody. I don't know. I think this might have to join the display because it's really good. I don't know what it's going to replace. Because I got is it going to be time for me to remove one of my painted kits to put this up there? I don't know. But do I want to replace the Yeah, I'm going to have to look. I'm going to have to look and see. I don't think I want to replace the Death Scythe. Maybe it's time for the Rose Gundam to take a bow. And I don't want to replace the heavy arms, the extra heavy arms, because that kit whips ass. So I don't really want to replace that. But I do maybe want to display this. I don't know. It just looks so fucking neat. The knees are a little boring. I'll say that. A little boring. Well, that's it. That's my only complaint about this design. Otherwise, it's very cool. Okay, so that's the story there. You got mom, you got daughter, found family, don't want dudes involved. Viola starts to go see her Aunt Lyra, and she's there to purchase poison herbs to defeat an enemy. We will learn who that enemy is later. That enemy is not. We are not aware of who our enemy is right now. We will learn more of that in a bit. All right, now I need C7. Great. We're working on the backpack of this kit. There's a whole nice conversation about between Viola and Lyra about how Viola was raised as a newborn and how Lyra breastfed her, and how Alyssa was always worried that she wasn't going to be a good enough mom because, she didn't have experience doing it and she was always afraid. And it's just like a touching lovely little thing, and good for us as the audience to kind of get a better sense of who these characters are. and what they mean to each other. Then Alyssa comes by, and Viola is just loving her mom and just telling her mom how much she loves her and all that, and it's really cute. And then we meet a new character in the second part of this episode, because these seem to be two-parters, like part one, part A, part B episodes. We're gonna meet Fennel, who I think is the person that Viola was gonna get poisoned to take care of, because Viola is very unhappy with Fennel every time. Because he likes Alyssa. This is a genuine person who has genuine feelings for Alyssa, and is very obvious. And of course, Alyssa doesn't recognize that, but Viola does not like that, because she does not want to compete with a suitor for her mother's love. She tries to not. Oh, there's probably a good term for this. She tries to define Alyssa's feelings for him to friend zone him, I guess is the best way to describe it. Refer to him as a little brother and just be oh, you're just a friend. There's no way this is going to happen, dude. Get over it. Basically just trying to insinuate that he has been friend zoned, I guess. And then she makes sure he can't Alyssa had made some tea for him, and she goes out of her way to make sure that Fennel doesn't get to drink the tea. And then Viola's come with me, just to separate them. Come with me. We're going for a fishing trip. But that's just to get him out there, and it's a complete deception. Because actually he's catching Phoenix. There's no fish there. He was instead messing with the Phoenix named Phoenix. And then he's oh, you're wasting my time. And then Phoenix also is what are we doing here? What's going on? And it's a weird end of an episode. So I'm going to keep watching. I'm not in love with this show. I like the premise. I want to meet more characters. We did meet 2 new characters. I also want more to do with Phoenix the Phoenix, because that is just a fun premise. The idea of a familiar that is kind of like a cat, and just the owner of that familiar is immediately I don't know what I'm doing with this. It might get old. This show might get old fast, but right now I am enjoying it. I find it fun to watch, so I'm gonna keep watching, and I will. You know what? I will let you know when I stop. Right. I should say here before I get into Stardust Telepath, there's not a lot happened in this episode. It's a lot of setup of what's going to happen in the series. I think it's just a lot of setup, so it won't be too long for me to talk about it. I should say I tried watching the anime about the guy who got reincarnated as a pig, and I got about 5 minutes into it. The animation is very bad, and the main character sucks. And I knew he would, but he really sucks. And I was just you know what? I don't want to watch this. I said that I would try it, and maybe I will. Maybe this week I'll have some time, and I'll be you know what? I should give this a fair shake. I should watch the whole first episode. But I was watching today, and I got into a little bit of it, and I was just actually, what if I just jump to the thing I actually want to watch, which is Stardust Telepath? And I'm just going to jump to that, and I am not going to watch this weird show about a gross dude reincarnated as a pig and the slave woman who can understand him via telepathy. I was just what if I don't watch that? What if I watch the other thing, the other story that involves telepathy that seems more interesting? So, did you watch Let Me Check the Walkthrough or A Certain Old Man's Journey VR MMO? No, I don't like those. So I didn't. No. The only VR MMO anime that I've ever enjoyed, or manga for that matter, is Bufuri. I don't want to see people play video games, even if they're VR video games. Also, hi, Dirty. I should say hi. The concept doesn't do it for me. Bofuri is fun, because it's like a fun idea. I think if it's a isekai based on a fictional video game, I'm maybe interested and inclined to watch that. But let me check the walkthrough. Is it? God damn it! Did I miss 2 isekais this season? Let me check the walkthrough. I thought that was a. Let me check the walkthrough. Pause. Let me check the walkthrough first. Wait, that came out in 2000. Wait. Oh, that aired in China. Lin Yue is a 30-year-old worker passionate in video games. Actually summoned a virtual game world. In order to make her own reality, she must train the game's hero. Together they'll learn, grow, and play. This did not show up in any list I have. This did not show up anywhere. I guess this is based on a Chinese story. No, I did not watch this because you are now telling me that this show exists, because I have no concept that this was a thing. I have not seen this. Any chart doesn't have this listed. Nobody. Yeah. Any chart. This is not on my anime list at all. So no, I have not watched it. And this is an isekai. This is an isekai. I missed out on one. Yeah. All right. I definitely missed out on this one. Yeah. Okay. But the Certain Old Man's Journey, I did not watch. Some real Genshin art style. Yeah, let me check the walkthrough first. I have not heard of this. It as far as I know, it did not show up on any chart. What day was the 6th? The 6th was Friday. So that should show up on the Friday list. Beyblade. I guess this goes to show I should not only use one source for my current anime, although they're very good about it. Yep, they don't list this show at all. It does not show up as a on their airing page. That is not on there, so I did miss that one. Wild. And then somebody on my YouTube said that they believed that what show was? They believed that 16-Bit Sensation Another Layer is an isekai, but I believe that is just a time travel show. But yeah, I did miss one. I know isekais are getting big when Kemcho made an isekai JRPG and their cookie cutter style. Yeah. Okay, well, Dirty, thank you for letting me know. I have not watched that. I might watch that this weekend. I'm gonna at least check it out. But yeah, that one flew under my radar because it's not being covered. But that just goes to show I should not stick to just one source. I did fuck up by only looking at one source of information there. All right, so then this is gonna go this, yeah. Then this goes like that. All right. Dirty, I do not believe there are any 3-minute anime this season that are subtitled anywhere. Because I don't know how the long Real Romanesque might be short. Real Romanesque season 2 might be a 3-minute. I believe that is a short, but that was not picked up by Crunchyroll, which is weird because Crunchyroll and Funimation both picked it up last time for the first season. But I believe that is the only short one that, and I do not believe that was picked up by anybody. But I can tell you, I cannot tell you about what I did not watch, but I can tell you about what I did watch. And I am now going to talk about Stardust Telepath. Stardust Telepath might be tough if you were embarrassed by Bochi at first and you had to summon yourself to push through for her social anxiety because you related so hard to her social anxiety that it became your social anxiety and you had trouble fucking dealing with that, then this might not be the anime for you because holy shit, Umika is just a sad young lady. She's starting high school and she is terrified because she is just cannot interact with strangers and she has so much trouble fitting in. And like many people, she kind of through escapism hyper focuses on a thing to explain her scenario, right? Because she doesn't relate to people and she can't hold a conversation and she's just having so much trouble. Perhaps she's not human. Perhaps she is an alien. She feels like one. Maybe she is one. And she's really obsessed with that. She's like, yeah, like maybe she's such an outsider that she doesn't belong there. So she convinced herself that like there's some other place where she belongs and people will like love her and understand her there. And it's a coping mechanism. She's got a coping mechanism. But she has an alien language dictionary that she treats as like real. Because like maybe someday she's going to meet an alien and she'll be able to converse with that. And then she'll be able to like hold her own in a conversation. And she'll end up going to the place where she's meant to be. Which of course, you know, that rough. It is a rough thing. All of this is rough. For her to have to like experience and go through this. Her teacher is like, okay, well, you have to get in on group activities. Everyone has to do group activities. And you like kind of fucking wish her teacher was like a little more understanding about the trauma that is induced with that. But her teacher is not understanding in this reality. So our girl Umika has to talk to a bunch of girls. And she's very unhappy about that. But she does meet you. Why you? And you says she is an alien. She is an alien. She is an extroverted alien. And is this a coping mechanism? We're not really sure. But I will say that she is very cheerful and borderline annoying. And maybe she will be less cheerful and less annoying as the story goes on. But right now, she does seem to be pretty annoying. Because she's an extrovert. And also, you kind of finds comfort in her. Not only being an extrovert to her introvert, but also because she says she's an alien. And the reason why she says she's an alien is because she has telepathy. Foreheadpathy. She touches your, forehead to forehead. She can read your mind. Now, is this real or not? I don't know. I am unaware. I cannot tell you after episode 1. Is this a girl who is an alien and this is a sci-fi story? Or is she lying about being a telepath and she just has really good readings of people? She can really like read people's emotions and tells, and she's just like a good, like an inadvertent con artist, like someone who like buys the con herself. She's like, she's bought in so much to her own con that she like believes she is an alien and she isn't one. I will say she lives in an abandoned lighthouse. So either this is an alien or a homeless girl. And I am not saying that this is a wholesome slice of life. It is a girl's doing things. That's closest we've got to that. And I am intrigued by this first episode. There are more girls according to the opening, so there are going to be more girls. Are they aliens? Are they interested in aliens? Are they just going to try to be friends with you and Umika? I don't know. There's a lot of questions, and I am at least going to watch the second episode. One, because I am very interested in whatever the fuck is going on with this anime. And two, I just fucking want to know. I want to know, is she an alien or not? Will we get an answer? This brings up a good question. Does it matter? Should I care? Like, does it matter to the story if this is a sci-fi story with a girl who feels alienated but is just sad and needs help, um, meeting an alien? Is that more interesting than two different lost weirdos finding each other and finding comfort in one another? And I don't have a good answer for you about that. I don't know which is better. I think it's interesting. I'm going to watch the second episode for sure, and I will let you know, I guess, if what conclusion I come to after another episode. Because, like, I don't expect there to be answers in episode 2, but I expect there to be more character development, at least the introduction of probably another character, or more development between these two characters and their interactions, and, like, we'll see. But it is intriguing. I would describe this as being one of the more interesting shows this season for me so far. Is Stardust Telepath. I want to know more about it. I want to know what makes it tick and what's going on with this particular series. So I will do further investigation, and I will update you presently when I know more. So probably next week. And then maybe this weekend I'll watch. Let me check the walkthrough first, because I didn't even know it existed. I don't particularly love that art style, but I should probably watch it. And as I said, as far as I can tell, oops, that's the wrong button. As far as I can tell, the suggested 16-bit sensation another layer is just a time travel show. About somebody that works for a game company right now, but then travels back in time to the early 90s to work for that same company, or to work for a different company. And then I did have somebody comment on my video. I'm looking at it now. That somebody out there does like Eminence in Shadow, an anime that I have shit on constantly for being bad. But there is a Eminence in Shadow enjoyer out there, and I'm glad they watched my video and left me a comment. But nah, I'm good. I know part of that is me just being an old man, but sure, I'll be an old man. That's all right. Somebody's got to be an old man. Now's the part of the stream, because we didn't talk about this on Saturday because we just got roped up in a bunch of stuff. I want to hear from you, friends. We're small but mighty tonight. What are you watching right now? You like the cringe shadow anime? Eminence of Shadow Part 2 Season 2 is out this season, so you can watch more of it. I absolutely did not enjoy it. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I don't find it funny or fun at all. I like an overpowered main character. I like a character you didn't know was great. I don't need both of those. Yes, it's still on High Dive. They didn't swap to Crunchyroll. It's still a High Dive show. I want to hear from you, friends. Or what are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you into? Are you watching any anime this season? Are you playing any video games? Let me know what you're up to. I'd like to hear from you. It's always fun at the end of the stream to kind of chat with people and see what they're up to and into. I will say your friend Pat here, still playing a lot of Hearthstone. You know me. Still playing Hearthstone just about every day. Pizza Possum. I played Pizza Possum last Tuesday on stream. This past weekend, I found myself playing more Pizza Possum. Now that I have some better drops there, some better items, I am having a lot more fun with Pizza Possum. That is still a very fun game. I'm still really enjoying my time with Pizza Possum. So I don't know if you haven't checked it out. It's very inexpensive. It is run-based stealth stealing game that I had a good time playing. And so I would say, yeah, if you haven't checked that out, like you should check out Pizza Possum. It's very fun. Um, let's see, what else have I been playing? I played a little bit more of Diablo 4. My Rogue, having a good time. I'm still enjoying Diablo 4. Do I love it as much as I love Diablo 3? I would say probably not. I probably don't love it as much as I loved Diablo 3, but I'm still enjoying it. I am still a... Ooh, do I have this? Okay, these are going here. I am still an enjoyer of Diablo. I still get a lot of fun. I still have fun playing it. I'm still invested in it. I'm not playing it as often as I was. I have not picked up Starfield in a few days. I have been thinking about dropping Game Pass again, but I'm still playing. I'm still, I'll still putter around with it. It does not have my focus like it did previously. It previously had a lot of my focus and attention. Now it has less of it, and I think that's natural. I'm just needing an excuse to get back into the game, and right now I just don't have. I don't have that excuse to be real into it. All right, this is gonna go like this. This is gonna go like this. How am I doing this wrong? What happened here? B12 and B1. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Wait. Which one did I do wrong? Wait. Okay, I need B12 and B1. There's B1, B1, B12. Oh, I did B13. One of these is the wrong number. One of these is wrong. One of these is not 12. It is 13. It is this one. This is the wrong piece. I have the wrong piece in here. I got to pop this out without breaking anything. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, can I do it? I can. Hooray. This was B13. We'll put that aside. Let me get B12 out of here. Oof. Almost fucked up real bad. I am now going to read what you've been writing here, as I pretty much finished what I want to talk about anyway, so now I can comment on what you're talking about. I'm about to watch the middle school stuff in My Hero Academia. The festival. Yes, the school festival stuff. This is a question. But have enjoyed the first season. Only really knock is that I could do without Mineta and other commentary on how well endowed the girls' class are, even to their face. You've been watching that? Yeah. So, there's a reason why I say, is there a Mineta when I talk about an anime? And that is, Mineta is shorthand for it's really shorthand for the thing you are embarrassed, the caveat you need to give. The thing you're like, hey, this anime is great. There is a Mineta. Lord Crashton, it's not a Teddy. Because Teddy is an annoying character, but Teddy, to me anyway, Teddy is not a deal breaker. Now to you, Teddy could be a deal breaker. I don't find Teddy to be a deal breaker. I think the Japanese voice actor for Teddy does great on me, but he's not something to be like, look, there's this Teddy character, you got to get over it if you want to enjoy the show. A Mineta, in my opinion, fundamentally can ruin your experience. There have been people I know who are like, hey, I can't keep watching this show because of the Mineta. The shows, sometimes it's a concept, sometimes it's a theme. Maybe forgiving a bad father in that show in the future, won't say which father, but there's a bad father in the show, perhaps him being forgiven is your Mineta. It's totally possible. All right, so we have the two choices here. We can do this the dark black, or we can do the one with the cool colors. We're definitely doing the one with the cool colors. So anywhere there is the option for 5 is that one. Yeah, so we want 5 on both of these here. Yeah, we don't want 1. I'll do 5 and yeah. Yeah, so wherever there is the option to do 2 cool colors, we are going to do cool colors, which is 5 and 6. These are heavy stickers. These are way heavier stickers than the previous stickers that we had on this kit. And they are, I can't really describe it. They're just thick. They are very thick. They're not thin stickers. They don't peel so much as they separate from where they were attached, which is unique and interesting. But these are, yeah, like they're metal on the other side here almost, or metallic on the other side. These are very strong stickers, which is cool because hopefully they'll adhere for a very long time. But these are heavy. These are, there's no give to these stickers. You can't. I don't think you could scrunch these up by mistake, which is neat. That is a cool thing, and they look fucking dope, which is also a cool thing. You know, for us, we can find this cool. We're gonna finish this kit up on Thursday. Obviously, we will complete all the weapons. There's still a couple more weapons to do. I think I'm going to pause this part of the weapon build after these stickers because towards the end of the stream, working on stickers is not great for me. I have found, and I don't want to fuck these gorgeous stickers up. So we'll finish this part here, and then maybe we'll jump ahead to the other sword just so we have a sword here. And then we will complete this cool part of the build on Thursday. And also, again, reminder, I got to stream tomorrow. So there's a Thursday stream, and that's going to be fun. Oh, I should also say, I'm sorry about this, Lashbrook. I completely jumped over your thoughts because I saw, wanting to talk about Mineta. Lashbrook says, I finished up my rewatch of Andor before canceling Disney+. I also checked out the first episode of Bullbuster, and I'm not really sold yet, but all the Mecha Show references are good, like they already did the Gynex pose. Yes, I don't think I mentioned that in my description of Bullbuster, that there was the Gynex pose. I think I'm sold. I love the look of it. I love that they seem to be mechs that were designed not like out of military applications, but like based on construction equipment. It just looks so different than other series. And then I do like that there's a real goofiness to it. And I don't think, I think there will be some seriousness, but I don't think it's a bad call that there's a mech series out there that isn't afraid to be a little goofy. Not goofish, but a little goofy. I don't mind that. I think that's, I don't know. I think that's pretty fucking neat. I'm kind of into it. Okay. So our sword can become our sword. These pieces can go on our big sword, although these pieces can also go on the backpack, and then we can have a blade go on our sword. So we're gonna do the sword blade part first, and then we'll finish the big blade that is also part of the skirt another day, which is obviously going to be Thursday. Then Lord Crashington says, I started Assassin's Creed Mirage, which has been fun so far. Love how much bodies freak out and ragdoll after assassinating them. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that game is out because it's just like, oh yeah, that's a video game. Like I'm just having trouble remembering that game came out and is available. I don't know why. I'm just like, for whatever reason, just the very concept of that game escapes my memory. But I'm glad, I hope you're having a good time with it. This blade fucking whips ass. Look at that. I love that. And then we take the beam part off, and then it's just part of these cool, this cool like extension of the backpack, kind of like a wing thing. And in fact, all four of these blades can go on one, if you just like all want them on one arm, which is kind of neat. But we'll probably do it spread out because that's cool. And then, just so that we have some kind of weapon here, because we're not done with the kit, but we're getting close to being done with it. We will hit the finish line on this kit on Thursday. There's not a lot left to do. I will run a poll. Tomorrow I will send out a poll for my $10 patrons on what I should build next, because I was expecting this to be maybe even to take like a good portion of Thursday. But we're going to wrap this up pretty early on Thursday and then finish the components here, get our cool weapons together, and do all that. So yeah, so we're basically done with today's stream. We got a little bit more left to build for Thursday's stream before we can complete this kit. I do love hearing more of Piccolo's voice actor being back at the forefront of an anime with My Hero Academia. Yes. It is. He said himself that it's interesting for him to have another show that kids really like that he's the voice actor in. He said he's had some lovely chats about that audience. All right, we're gonna wrap things up here. We will come back to this kit and finish this kit up on Thursday. Also, hey, reminder, my stream tomorrow, Model Kit Builder is the video game that we were checking out. I got that on Epic Game Store, so we were checking out Model Builder. I keep saying Model Kit Builder. It's just called Model Builder, and I'm gonna like boot it up tomorrow. But we'll be starting pretty much from the beginning of Model Builder. And so I do want people to check that out when that happens. Very cool business. Don't like feet this model. Oh. I like the model with its feet down, the back parts down. You can flip them down. I kind of like that. And these do remind me of kind of Iron-Blooded Orphans kits, so yeah, I can see that. I can see not liking it, but I enjoy it. Anyway, we are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here, folks, is we go and hang out with some people doing some other stuff. We always end with a raid because why not send the love out there to somebody else and see what they're doing. Let's see who's doing things. Mary Kish is playing a game called Bramble the Mountain King. Mary, we always try to raid Mary if she's streaming. So we're going to check out whatever this is, whatever Bramble the Mountain King is. But yeah, Mary rules. Let's go hang out with Mary. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. I will see you on the next one tomorrow for Model Builder. Thanks all so much for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your Monday. Hope again to see you tomorrow or Thursday as I complete the Schwarzette. I hope you had a nice time. I hope your week goes well. I'll see you in the future. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.